So the last illustrious sister is also announced from the announcement of the stream. Indomitable is finally coming out after so long since the last sister ship. I think it's been like what, 3 years now since the last illustrious sister. It took that long to get it, but it's finally here. So let's talk about what this illustrious sister could do in Indomitable. So as of right now, I wish there was an easier way for me to filter by class, but we're gonna have to do it this way. So there are 3 illustrious sisters in the game as of right now: illustrious, victorious, and formidable. Right. So in terms of what Indomitable could be, I narrowed it down to one simple solution. So illustrious here is a defensive carrier. She has armored carrier, gives your vanguards a shield equivalent to Illustrious's max HP, so that's defensive. Victorious is more offense oriented because she has that assault carrier, not to mention she beefs up damage to battleships for your backline. So once again, an offensive ship. And For Me is like a mix of everything. She has some defensive capabilities with her armored hangar. She has some utility as well too with the freeze for 1.5 seconds. Not to mention she has some good damage as well too. Not the best damage, but some good damage as well too. She's a little bit of a mix of everything. So that leaves us with so what we have right now is an offensive carrier, a defensive carrier, a mix of all three. So it leaves us with a supportive carrier. So Indomitable, if they want to go through this whole like no overlapping thing for sister ships, she's gonna be a supportive ship. Supportive as in like utility, right? Now here's the thing. What could she offer that would make things interesting? We have a billion slows already in the game. For Me, it has a freeze as well too, so that's kind of unique. So what kind of utility can she offer to the team? Now, she could be a buffer. Now, I'm going to say this every video, but she could be a buffer, right? Supportive utility is definitely could be a buffer. Now, defensive means like protection, like damage reduction and shields and HP regen. Stuff like that's defensive, so it's not going to be any of those. But she could offer buffs to the fleet, so that will make her supportive. Probably going to have a freeze or a slow. Like every ship nowadays is going to have one of those things. So she could be a buffer. I'm expecting her damage to be pretty decent because nowadays, if its ship's damage isn't like decent, it's kind of like whatever. So I think it's going to be like a decent damaging ship, but it's definitely going to lean more towards the supportive role because of the what we have as of right now in the game for the illustrious sisters. We have a defensive, offensive, and a mix of everything. So she's probably going to be supportive is what I think. Now in terms of her gear loadout, if you guys don't know already, Illustrious has 2 fighter slots, Victorious has all 3, and For Me has 2 torpedo bombers with a flex first slot. So that leaves us with Indomitable has a chance to have 2 dive bombers if they want to mix things up. Now 2 dive bombers is a really weird setup. Nowadays I don't run 2 dive bombers. I mean I see use it a lot back when I used Saratoga for farming. She's really good at using 2 dive bombers. But like ships like Haku Ryu that can use 2 dive bombers, I just don't do it nowadays because 2 torpedo bombers is just way better overall for like pretty much everything. So 2 dive bombers, like whatever. So if she's gonna have 2 dive bomber slot and she's gonna be a supportive ship, it's gonna be weird. You'd probably use her for a mob setup if that's the case, because 2 dive bombers usually means you go into mob fleet because of the AoE from the drops and whatnot. And you're going to be a supportive ship, so you're going to buff up things, right? So if you're buffing, you have 2 dive bomber slots. It's probably going to be a supportive carrier, is what I'm thinking for Indomitable. Now, by all means, they can make her like the craziest carrier of all time. I'm going to bite my tongue on that and probably hope that she is, but who knows? Who knows? But what I'm thinking is it's going to be a double dive bomber carrier that's going to be supportive is what I'm thinking. If they don't want to overlap with Illustrious, Victorious, and For Me as of right now in terms of their kit, it's going to be that. Now, That setup is weird, but it could work given I have to test some things out. But is what I'm thinking. So Indomitable comes out Thursday. It's going to be interesting. The last Illustrious sister is here. Now we just need the last KGV sister, Anson. And that's pretty much it. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want in her kit. And in 2 days, we're going to have the craziest Royal Navy event to this very day.